everyone, Machi here. We are back with another in-depth look episode. This time we're gonna look at our two remaining FF9 members and our couple from Final Fantasy IX. Zidane and Garnet will be the two protagonists of this episode. We're gonna check their abilities, see what I think of them, what they do, what they cannot do. We are doing the APHMAU Chaos Lost Chapter stage here. We have a Jack friend maybe to use on the first wave here, just to kind of focus on one character at a time. And we finish up our composition with another FF9 lady. In this case it's Freya. So, okay, I'll start by talking about Garnet first actually. So let's swap out Zidane a little bit here on the first wave. And we'll just use our good old Jack friend here a little bit. Alright. Freya, do your thing. Awesome. Garnet. Who is Garnet? Well, Garnet, she's a enabler, a support, a mage, fully AoE focused. Pretty much both of her abilities are all spread damage, both bravery and HP wise. She's very versatile as well, and most importantly, she imperials and enchants your party with not once, but two elements, thunder and water. This is already a rarity in itself, because it means that basically you will hit weakness damage no matter what with your party, unless the fight literally like resists or absorbs both thunder and water. So she's incredibly versatile and useful as well for this reason. Now, let's check her abilities. Garnet has two kind of mirror abilities that are kind of similar in what they do, but they activate different effects. And these different effects, given by a frame buff, is exclusive to each move. So basically she has two stances, the water stance with Aquamarine Water Glint and the Thunder stance with Peridot Thunder Flash. Now, Aquamarine Water Glint is a increased bravery based on attack, 4 hit group water magic bravery attack plus group HP attack, 150% overflow, proportionate damage to everyone. Grants allies bravery based on HP damage dealt, really good, like it's a really good battery here. All targets 4 turns water resist down. For 8 turns you gain Water Dragon, which is the frame buff on yourself. The party gains a bravery regen buff with Aquamarine, and cancel Thunder Tsar, which is the opposite, the Thunder stance basically. The bravery attack becomes Deluge, and the HP attack becomes Dragon Wave with water stance. Before using it, let's check our Peridot Thunder Flash 2. Same thing, increased bravery based on attack, 4 hits. The overflow is stronger on Thunder Flash, 180%. Proportionate damage to everyone, 4 turns thunder resist down on all the enemies, and you don't give bravery regen to everyone with this one, but you gain yourself max brave up 1, so it's more kind of egoistic in a sense. This one you gain max brave just for Garnet and max brave buff. Cancel Water Dragons, bravery attack becomes Super Bolt, and HP attack becomes Hammer of Judgment. So, I know it's a lot of names, so it sounds complicated, but really it's not that complicated. So, first of all, if you have a fully built Garnet, you will start with a free turn and a free use. This allows you to choose your first stance, in a way. Let's start with Peridot. So, if we start with Peridot, we can do that. So, what we have now is the Thunder Tsar. It's the Thunder stance basically. Raises own max brave, grants self Thunder enchant, and raises party's max brave and attack. Doesn't stack. So, pretty offensive buff overall. Like we said, we also gain the max brave from it. Now, we have Super Bolt and Hammer of Judgment. Let's check those out. So, Super Bolt is a 3-hit group Thunder Magic Bravery attack plus single target HP attack with a little bit of overflow, and you have a bravery refund by 20% of the HP damage dealt. So that's pretty neat actually. It's not a regular bravery attack, it's actually an HP attack that still has the bravery refund, so it's really useful to still do damage. And actually you can hit pretty hard given that the bravery hits are AoE, and do some cool stuff with it. While Hammer of Judgment, it's a little bit of party-wide battery based on your own attack, few hits, a little bit of overflow on the enemy, and deals a little bit of splash damage. So Super Bolt is good for single target damage and self battery, while Hammer of Judgment is best for kind of spread damage and a little bit of battery to the others, to the others in your party. Now, we could use those, but for now, let's switch right away to Water Stance. You can see a huge battery to our other members here of the party. Jack, you do your thing. Okay, Water Stance. What's the difference? Water Dragon is the buff. We gain the Bravery Regen to the whole party, like we said. Raises on Max Brave, grants Water Enchant, raises party Initial Bravery and Max Brave. So, now it's all clear. Basically, the two stances are different in kind of the goal of what they want to do. Water Stance is more defensive, more tuned around Bravery Regen for the whole party, while Peridot Thunderflash and the Thunder Stance is more focused on attacking and doing more damage. So one, the Water Stance has more Eye Brave to the whole party, and the Thunder Stance has more attack to the whole party. So you kind of will flow kind of between these two stances, but you can choose to stay maybe in one stance more compared to another, depending on your needs, because you can use, like we said, your modified Bravery and HP+. Now, for Water Stance, we have Deluge, which is just a 2-hit group magic bravery attack, then grants party bravery based on own attack. So, very defensive, but still pretty good, because it's AoE hits. While Dragon Wave, it's a 2-hit water magic bravery attack plus HP attack, little bit of overflow, but very good battery, because it's 50% of the HP damage dealt converted to battery to the allies. So that's pretty nice. Okay, now for this we will check these attacks later. For now, I wanna go straight back into Thunder Stance. All right, Freya, you high jump. Yeah, we have our Jack here. Okay. Alright, Jack does his thing. Now, Freya, you just use one Race Wing here just for a little bit of battery. Okay. Now, let's check out Super Bolt, for example. Let's Super Bolt B. So as you can see, pretty, legit damage, but we still have our a little bit of Bravery Refund here, which keeps us safe defensively a little bit. Now we have Zidane 2, we will talk more about him on the second wave, so for now I'll just move on. Alright, Freya, just HP plus. Okay, now, one thing that you might have noticed with Garnet is that we don't start the fight applying Imperials right away. We have to use our abilities to apply it. So that's something to keep in mind, that resets every wave too. Now, Holy Prayer is our EX. Holy Prayer largely restores party HP. So, Not only she is a AoE magic attacker, she enables the others with enchants and batteries and all of that, and good auras, but she also heals. And one thing to keep in mind here is that this is a huge heal, like you basically fills every party member's HP bar, but it's only on REX. You don't have any other way of healing with Garnet, so she can definitely be your healer in a party, but you need to be careful because you need to time this thing correctly, or rather, you cannot kind of use it whenever you want, so you need to be careful. So she can pair well with another healer that has an HP regen. In this case, we have Freya, for example, here, and then you have your huge heal here on the EX. But you can also use her by herself. But you do need to be careful. Depends on the fight as well, of course. If there is a fight with heavy constant HP damage, then maybe you cannot use Garnet as your only healer, because her EX is not super fast either. So now, with that said, grants party bravery based on own max brave. Increased bravery might exceed the individual bravery up to 150%, so you also have all that increased bravery overflow for the whole party, which is very nice. For 10 turns, the party gains the Holy Prayer buff, and Garnet gains 1 turn of a frame buff called Holy Guardian. Instant turn rate, no turn count added. All the targets gain both the Imperials of the 2 elements, so this is great because it's another way of applying your Imperials without spamming your abilities. And next turn after use does not consume ability use, so let's use it right away. Alright, so as you can see, it's a huge battery to everyone. Now we have a free ability as well to use, so we have a free stance to choose from, let's put it that way, but let's check the buff first. Now, Holy Guardian is your 1 turn buff. It's very straightforward but incredibly helpful for Garnet because it's just a straight up stolen bravery boost. Not a little bit, it's like 80% stolen bravery boost. Why is this great? Because Garnet, like we said, has spread damage on everything, so having a lot of overflow is very beneficial for her. She can hit hard with that one. Holy Prayer instead gives bravery regen, infuses non-elemental attack, like we said, with the 2 elements, thunder and water, or boost bravery of the same element. Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to go into Thunder. Let's use the Thunder Flash. As you can see, that was some pretty good damage there. Alright. Zidane. Like I said, I'll talk about him more later. For now, let's just finish this fight here. Yeah. Use Cherry Blossom too. Alright. Boss wave. So that was the generic overview of Garnet. Now we will talk about Zidane 2 and then we will do the fight. Zidane starts first, not a chance. He is a very fast melee attacker, Zidane, and debuffer as well. With strong focus on AoE as well, I have to say. Like, it definitely shines more in AoE fights compared to single target fights. Now, Zidane, like we said, he's very fast. He makes good use of all the turns that he gains, because not only is very fast, but he also has high turn rate on everything that he does, pretty much. Now, let's check his abilities right away. First of all, Thievery. It's a frame buff unique to Zidane. It's a straight up boost to max brave and attack. But you might see that the max brave of Zidane is a little bit bonkers compared to most of the other characters. I mean, he might be the character with the most max brave in the game right now. This is because not only Thievery has, I believe, like a 90% max brave buff other than the attack, but he also has another generic huge, like 110% max break buff here. So it's he has an amazing bravery pool that he can really use. Now, Stellar Circle 5. 5 hit group melee bravery attack plus single target HP attack. Deals extra bravery damage, so weakness damage, to target afflicted with Thief's Mark. What is Thief's Mark? We apply it every start of each wave, at the start of each wave, because we have a fully built Zidane. It's a frame buff that lowers max brave and attack. Not by amazing values, but it's framed, so you can stack it up with other debuffs, so it's very nice. And like we said, all of our abilities, not only Stellar Circle 5, will deal weakness damage to those targets, so that's very valuable too. The Stolen Bravery may exceed max brave up to 180%. We apply Thief's Mark and 6 turns of speed down 2. This is crucial. This is, I believe, the strongest speed down in the game right now. Generic buff, debuff, sorry. And it's incredibly viable. You can really feel the difference between having that one or not. Gives a lot of turn management and fight control, which is very, very, very cool. Now you also gain Thievery, like we said, and speed up by yourself as well. So you gain speed up too. That's why he's gonna get really, really fast. Okay, you know what? Let's use it right away. Yep, that's some nice damage there. Okay, Freya, Dragon Breath. And yeah, let's Aquamarine with Garnet here. Let's go back into water mode. All right. Now, the Bravery plus of Zidane is just 3 melee hit, while the HP plus of Zidane is actually really useful. It's a 2-hit melee Bravery attack plus HP attack. Extra damage to targets with Thief's Mark as always, a little bit of overflow, high turn rate, but most importantly, extend your own buff duration by 1 turn. So this is a great move for Zidane because, like we said, he will get a lot of turns, and he has ways to use those turns effectively. And this HP plus is really useful because it can deal good damage, chaining it with other abilities, and also extend your buffs, so you don't lose your buffs even though you have many turns. Very, very important. Let's use it. As you saw, we jumped up in turns here because high turn rate, so we're starting to get a little bit more turns here. Alright, Freya, high jump. Okay, now we have about half of our max brave. It's about a great time to use free energy, because free energy, unlike Stellar Circle 5, deals less bravery hits and are not AoE, but increases your bravery based on attack and then multiplies it, which means that it's best used when you have a little bit of bravery to start with. Otherwise it will not hit super hard. But if you have even just a little bit of bravery, this thing will start hitting really hard. Weak damage to target with Thief's Mark, 150% overflow, 50% splash damage, high turn rate, and all targets gains the debuff Thief's Mark and defense down 2. And you gain defense up 2. So the debuffs that you put are the Thief's Mark, speed down, and defense down. So honestly, all 3 very valuable debuffs here. You gain defense up 2 to yourself, which, I mean, it's not so good for a kind of fast attacker like him, but it's there. Alright, let's use it. So that's good damage too, and splash damage like we said. Alright, we almost have our EX up, not quite though, so let's just do another Stellar Circle 5. Alright, Garnet, let's use Dragon Wave, our HP plus, to battery everyone else, in this case Freya, and Freya can battery back with her own HP plus. Alright. Booster 8! Booster 8 is Zidane ZX. 8-hit melee bravery attack plus HP attack. More damage to target afflicted with this mark. 180% overflow. 70% splash damage to non-targets. And initiate a launch or a knockback. So, this thing hits really hard, as you can see. All the bravery hits are single target, but like we said, you have the splash damage, so it's still good on AoE situations. 8 hit is a lot. You will hit very hard on this thing because you also have the weakness damage applied. Initiate a launch. Now, Zidane, in my opinion, is not a character that focuses on launching. It's just something else that he has on his kit, which is very appreciated. So not only has all these debuffs and all these fast turns and all this shaving, as you can see, he can shave really well with Stellar Circle 5, another ability that we will see later too. Booster 8 shaves very strong as well. You have a launch too. Now, unlike other launchers, it doesn't have anything fancy like delaying turns or battering the party. Nothing of that sort, but it does have a little bit of a perk in that it increases the launch damage by 10%. So that's pretty nice. That's with these character boards. Like we said, you also gain the huge max brave up 5 on yourself. Most importantly, after using booster 8 bravery, the bravery attack becomes Mag, which we will see soon after. Alright. Holy Prayer is up. Let's use it. As you can see, we initiate a launch on the non-targets too, not only the main target that we hit. Another little perk of Zidane that you guys might know, it's his crystal level 50 passive, Benevolent Knight. Raises attack for each female party member with him. So basically, if you it's not a make or break buff by any means, but it's 10% more attack for each female party member. So in this case, we have 20% more attack flat with Zidane. Another thing that you let's see if we can find it. We have so many passives here. Yeah, Gale of the Thief. Raises party max brave and attack by 10% too. This is his Word of Illusion weapon. You definitely want that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright. Okay, let's play the fight out. Garnet, Thunder. Zidane, you have Mag, which we will see. Not right now, just HP plus for now. Freya, you just high jump. Okay. Yeah, let's check Mag. Mag is an amazing tool for Zidane. You can only use it once every booster 8, so it refreshes, you have it up every time you use booster 8, and then reverts back to normal bravery once you use it. Now, Mag, it's a great gravity effect to the target's bravery and increases your own bravery by that amount that you reduced, followed by the 3-hit melee bravery attack. So it's another, this is the other shaving tool that I was talking about. It's just a straight up gravity effect that is very cool. Not only that, but you follow up with 3 hits too, so it definitely hits hard this thing, even when the enemy doesn't have that much bravery. Weakness damage to target afflicted with this mark, 120% overflow, deals HP damage based on current bravery but does not consume it. This is very peculiar and incredibly useful for him because, like we said, he has a lot of turns going on and he can basically deal 3 damage and keep the bravery to just do another attack right after. Extend your own buff duration as well, so you don't lose any buffs. Instant turn rate, does not add to turn count, and reverts back after using it. Let's use it in this case, even though he has no bravery to really shave. We still deal 51k damage, and we can follow up. And we could follow up with whatever we want. In this case, I'm just gonna HP plus. So we dealt basically 50k plus 77k in one turn, because Mag is instant. Alright. Garnet, Garnet, Garnet. One more Thunder Flash. Freya, do your thing. Cherry Blossom. And by the way, I've chosen Freya here because Freya is, well, not only she's great and she's from FF9, but she doesn't have party-wide, she doesn't put party-wide buffs on the team. So we could pair all three of them up very well and have zero overlap with buffs here, which is very nice. Okay, Zidane, Zidane, Zidane. We have about 30k here, so about half of our max brave. Let's use free energy. And we have another turn right away. Stellar Circle 5. And in this case, we might use Hammer of Judgment. And deals a little bit of splash damage that way too. It's not that important here because these adds will come back anyway. Alright. Zidane, Zidane, Zidane. I think this is a good time to show Zidane's AA, which is very cool and great for his kit. Synergizes very well with this kit, because Bravery Up Advance is just a bravery increase based on attack, slightly raised on attack, and overflow for 3 turns. Why is it great? Because, for example, here we don't have a lot of bravery, we don't have that much bravery here. But what do? Do we just spam Stellar Circle 5? We could do it, but we don't want to spam abilities continuously, and when our EX is almost up anyway, we don't want to spam free energy as well. So what can we do? We can just do this. And now we have a good chunk of bravery to work with. And from here we can just, honestly, just HP plus, for example, and still do nice damage there. Okay, Freya. Freya. Yeah, just Dragon Breath Freya. Just Dragon Breath Freya. Here we go. Alright. What do we do with Garnet here? We go back to the battery. Awesome. Booster rate is up. Let's use it. We can do a little bit of damage with Freya too. Okay. Freya. Raises wind. Battery the others. Okay, now the boss resummoned all the adds and they are fully buffed. This is a little bit scary because they have all the generic buffs, and this is why having Imperials right here and especially the speed down of Zidane is gonna be crucial. We have Holy Prayer right up, so let's use it. Perfect. Thunder Flash. And we shaved them already, we shaved them all off, and we can just continue our cycle here. Now, we have 60k bravery, we could just HP plus, really, but I want to put that speed down right away, so let's use it. Stellar Super 5. We have Cherry Blossom too, let's use it. Battery. Okay, nice. Alright. We have free energy, we have mag. What do we want to do? Let's use free energy right away. We are in about the good range for a good multiplier here. And we can put defense down. Alright. Garnet, Garnet, Garnet. Let's use Hammer of Judgment. A little bit of battery to everyone and a little bit of splash. It's never a bad thing. Okay. Now, what could we do? We could do another Stellar Circle 5, do an AoE shave. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Let's keep our mag. Alright. Freya... I think you can actually do... First of all, you can do that. Lose one turn of our debuff that we have there. And then we just use another Race's Wind, just for battery. Mind Stop is annoying, but we didn't get debuffed, so that's nice. So now we have booster rate up already. We didn't use our mag, but the good thing is that you can actually use mag on the same turn, if you really want to. Because it's free, so it's still free damage. Alright. Now we have a launch 2 here on the other two robots. With a launch, what do? Well, we probably want to use Aquamarine, but let's check the AA of Garnet as well. All Bravery Regen boost. Slightly raises party max brave and grants Bravery Regen for 5 turns, so even more regen. It's actually really strong with the water stance up because all the regen stacks up. Alright. Yeah, let's use Aquamarine. Do we want to HP attack the little thingies here? Not really. Not really. I'll just bravery attack. So we have a pretty much free HP attack here for 90k HP plus. That's not bad. Alright. Yeah, we'll just do another little launch here. And I think we can actually summon. We can summon and start to do some really good damage here. Let's mag. HP plus. Ooh, we have Holy Prayer too, but I'm gonna Aquamarine first. Perfect. Alright. AA for Zidane to gain our bravery back. There are no targets there, but we can safely free energy, and as you can see, we still do a ton of single target damage anyway. Battery now with Garnet. We used a lot of water glint, as you saw there, so we're down to like 1 use, I believe. But as long as you have 1 use, you can always use 1 for free after your Holy Prayer, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, we'll go back to Thunder mode here and start dealing some good single target damage too. Dragon Breath with Freya. Alright. Yeah, Stellar Circle. Perfect. I'm gonna use another regen boost. I'm gonna use another Thunder Flash right away. Booster 8. HP plus. This guy might do a nasty HP Bravery plus HP attack. He didn't. Okay. Might still do it. But we have last stand with Garnet. First of all, has last stand by herself, but Freya has AoE last stand for the whole party, so that's always nice. Aquamarine. We have Mag. Let's use it. Perfect. One last Brave Up advance. As you can see, the flow of Zidane is really cool. He's really fast, but he has such a flow on his skills that is amazing. Really, really cool. Alright. Just HP plus Freya. Just to keep some bravery. Red cannon, alright. I thought he was doing the assault attack, but he's not doing it. Alright, Holy Prayer. Boost to everyone. Very low. Just finish him off. Perfect. Alright, so I hope you guys had a good overview of Zidane and Garnet. Not only they work incredibly well together, and I'm glad they do, because they have, of course, the same game synergy going on, but they are also very good characters in their own right. They are both very versatile. I think Zidane can be slotted into a lot of different compositions. You can buff him up in a lot of different ways. He has a huge bravery pool to use, even by himself, really. He can be buffed up in a lot of different ways, and he has great utility too, because of the speed down, the defense down, and all of that. The launches. Garnet as well, incredibly versatile, support, good AoE damage, healing, enchants, double enchant, like very, very cool characters to use, to play. They are fun, they flow really well. Both the Zidane and Garnet kit flow really well in my opinion. They are really, really smooth to use. So let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments below, and yeah, I'll see you guys for the next videos. Bye bye.